My name is Dr. Heather Monty, and today we're going to talk about how to discover your niche within the drone or the UAS industry. And so, in today's topic, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about who I am and then some additional training and resources that we have. They're both free and paid that you can take advantage of. So, my name is Dr. Heather Monty. I am a technologist and educator. I have been a pilot for over 25 years. And I have worked a long time to help people start, grow, and scale businesses and careers within the tech and aviation sectors. And now, with the proliferation of drones, this has become a wonderful opportunity for people to either come to this industry from the aviation side. There's some people that come to it from the technology side. There's some people that come to it from the photography side of things. So there's a lot of different opportunities within the drone industry that aren't always necessarily flying a drone. There's a lot of opportunities here. And so what I wanted to do today is just give you some tips on things that I do to help people figure out where they can land within a particular space within the tech industry. When we're talking about coming into a brand new industry where you don't know what you don't know, okay? And so these industries that are new, they're evolving, they're rapidly evolving. Technology is happening and changing and evolving much quicker than the rules and regulations are. It's really going to depend on what country you're in. Some countries lag behind much more than others as far as the rules and regulations. And some companies don't have any, or some countries don't have any regulations at all. So when you are coming into an industry that's at the cusp of being very new, it's evolving, it's difficult to figure out what it is to know what you don't know and to know the right questions to ask. And even with your like typing things into Google, you don't necessarily know what to type into Google to ask the question. So, what I wanted to do today is just help you understand a little bit more about the drone industry and what are the opportunities within the industry. So, this is something that I teach in a part of what I call the Drone MBA. It is a program that I am about two-thirds of the way done creating this. And this is an 8-step process that I teach to help people start, grow, and scale drone businesses, but also a career within the drone industry. And so the workshop that I'm going to take you through today is a subset of the first step here, which is to discover your niche. So when you're figuring out, okay, I want to get into this drone industry, what is it that you're going to do? Okay. The remaining steps are listed here. I'm not going to read them. You can read through them quickly. But if you go to flyelectricmonarch.com/ready set drone, I have another webinar that I did on going over these 8 steps and just a high level. These are the 8 steps that I teach. Here's how you're going to get started in the drone industry. There's more to it, but this is going to give you a really good start and some structure on how to get started in the industry. So what we're talking about here today is this first step, discover your niche. And again, this is a subset of the workshop that I offer in that particular area. So this is a blog post that I wrote that's got some niche ideas in the drone industry. So I'll bring this up here. You can just go to flyelectricmonarch.com and just search for explore drone niche ideas and it will come right up for you. So you can go on the internet and you can Google this. You can Google niche opportunities in the drone industry, drone business ideas, drone career ideas. You can type all that kind of stuff in Google. There's a lot of people that have come up with some really good lists. I am one of them that came up with this list. And I think that it's important to note that this is not an exhaustive list. This is intended to give you, like right here, I stated, this is designed as a starting point for brainstorming and inspiration. Okay. So this might give you some ideas. So we've got things that you can use drones for in agriculture and farming. I've got some different ideas here. Construction and real estate. I've got some very specific ideas there as well. Energy and utilities. Got some ideas here. And then environmental conservation efforts. Again, we go into some more very specific details. Public safety and services, media and entertainment, surveying and mapping, delivery and logistics. And then we've got services and products. So you might be using your drone to offer up flying services, but there's other types of services and products that you can do within the drone industry that don't necessarily always involve flying a drone. So on the education and training side, that there's a lot of people that are people like you that you've got some very specific skills in a particular niche within the drone industry. We're really going to need people like you to teach other people how to do what it is that you already know how to do. Okay. So if you've got experience in flying drones in a particular setting, you can offer up courses and training programs in that. There's also a huge need for people in the technology and development side of things. So software, hardware, cybersecurity of the software and the hardware, and then counter drone technology. This is another area that's really growing very fast. Again, another area that the rules and regulations aren't always keeping up with the technology. Then there's opportunities in legal consulting and management. So if you've got a legal background, if you've got a business background, there's some opportunities there for consulting, marketing, and sales. There's a lot of organizations, drone organizations that are out there. They offer up some sort of product, service, or offering, and they need people that know how to market it. They know how to talk to potential customers and how their product solves a particular problem. I've also done a lot of work in the cybersecurity industry and trying to work with marketing people who don't understand an industry as nuanced as cybersecurity can be very difficult. So if you've got some really good knowledge of the UAS industry and that marketing side of things as well, you can bring a good standpoint to an organization. Accessories and apparel, I think we've all seen them on Facebook. People are selling T-shirts and vests and decals and backpacks and that kind of thing. Maintenance and repair. As drones are becoming more and more complex and more expensive, people are going to want to have them repaired versus replacing them. So there's an opportunity there. Security and surveillance. So the way I look at security and surveillance is going to be the security of the drone itself. So before, during, and after flight, the data that's on that drone that's either being transmitted on that in the communications or it's on the drone itself. But then also, how do you use drones for security and surveillance? So you can look at the physical security and the cybersecurity side of things. And then doing some things, there's opportunities out there for recreational and hobbyist drone pilots, people that are into aviation. There's a lot of different opportunities there. You can create DIY drone building kits. I know if you go on hackster.io, that's what a lot of people do there is they create these kits for people to buy drones. And then what I've done here is I've come up with some ideas to really help you think through what are some of the visionary and futuristic ideas. These are things that we probably aren't ready for yet. Either the technology's not there yet or the regulations are not there yet. Give me one second here. The regulations might not be there yet, but this gives you some ideas of just this futuristic thinking, big ideas, thinking through that kind of stuff. So this article is really intended to be a inspiration for you. You can go through it, you can look through it and think, okay, I have some experience here. I know this particular industry. This is something that I could do. And again, this is not an exhaustive list. It's one list that I've put together. Go on the internet and look for other people's lists and start thinking through what are some of the things that you already know how to do? What are some of the things that you already have experience in? All right. So when you are thinking about coming up with your niche within the drone industry, is start to think through a specific area in the drone industry where you can excel, whether you're creating your own business or you want to start a career, pivot your career. Where can you excel and really understand that unique value that you offer? So most people coming into this industry, I've looked at just my analytics of people in our community. We've got people mostly between 35 and 55. Some people are a little bit older, they're retired and they're looking for a gig in retirement. And then we do have some people that are younger that are very tech savvy and coming into this industry knowing that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for them long term. But a lot of people are between the ages of 35 and 55. And this is the age group that I've really always worked with in helping people start, pivot careers, businesses, etc. Okay. And the thing is that when you're at that certain age, you have a lot of skills that are very valuable to an organization, to a customer, to a client, to another business. Okay. And it's just figuring out what that is. And the problem is that oftentimes we don't necessarily see what that skill is. And so if you start thinking about things like these are the questions people are constantly asking me about. These are the things people are coming to me for help. They need help with this particular thing. Thinking through some of the previous experiences that you've had in your work experience. Maybe you've done a really good job with project management. Maybe you've got experience selling a product doesn't necessarily have to be related to the drone industry or even the tech industry, but you've got that sales experience. You understand the sales process, you understand the psychology of a sell, right? So the first thing to really do is start making a list of the things that you've already got experience in. What kinds of things do you already know how to do? And just take the drone industry out of it. Okay. So if you're an engineer, think through some of those skills that you have. Do you know how to code? Do you know how to do design? Do you know how to do user experience? Something like this. Maybe you worked in public safety as a police officer, as a firefighter, and you want to add in search and rescue to your repertoire. Okay. So start thinking through what it is that you already know how to do. And that can really be that path of least resistance into a new area versus doing a complete degree angle or 180 angle and going into something completely unrelated to anything that you already have experience in. Okay. So start thinking through that. And what I would do is just make a list of 30 or 50 things that you already know how to do. And just like I said, just take the drone industry out of it, things you already know how to do. Maybe ask people that are close to you, that have worked with you, your friends, your family, your coworkers, people that you've worked with in the past on other projects you volunteered with. And what kinds of things do they say about you? What kinds of things do they think that you are really strong in, that you've got a lot of experience in, that put you in charge of this kind of thing? Those are the kinds of things you want to start writing down. Okay. And then this is an activity that I have done many times with probably tens of thousands of people over the years. And we're going to go back to, I think it's like third grade math and do this Venn diagram. Okay. So you've taken this list of things that you've already got some really good experience in. Okay. And you've written it out. Doesn't mean you like it. Doesn't mean you want to do it. Okay. You've just made this list of 30 or 50 things that you have some really good experience in that may or may not be related to the UAS industry. Okay. If you know how to do calligraphy, how might that work in the drone industry? I don't know. Maybe doing some marketing materials for drone service providers, things like this. Like these are things like they might not be related, but you can figure out a way to make it related. Okay. So from there, what you're going to do is you're going to make two more lists and you're going to make a list of things that you are good at. Again, doesn't mean you like it, but you're good at it. Okay. And then make a list of things that you love to do, things that you enjoy, things that are a pastime for you, that if you could spend all of your time doing this thing, the world would be great. All right. And so if you make a list of 30 to 50 of these, you got three different columns here, 30 to 50 different things, you might start finding some overlap. All right. You'll start finding some things that have been repeated, some of these things that have been you've got some really good experience in it. You're good at it. And it's something that you absolutely love doing. Okay. And so if you figure out what that might be, I'll just use project management as an experience. A lot of people in that age group have some really good project management experience that perhaps you can go work for a drone company managing product delivery or product management or project management in the sense of that you're helping a drone manufacturer create and design a product. Okay. So you can start thinking through what is this thing that I know how to do. And let's add drones, UAS, UAV to the tail end of that. Okay. So I worked in aerospace cybersecurity for a while and I have a really good background in aerospace, have a really good background in IT and cybersecurity, and was able to combine the two to work on things like drones and UAVs and airplanes and satellites and the TV monitors on the back of the seat on an airliner and taking that software and making sure that it's safe and secure. Okay. So you combine those two different things. So then what I would do is I'm going to go over to Indeed here. So I'm in Phoenix, so it's bringing up Phoenix. I'm just going to take out this location here. So what you can do here is reverse engineer how you might break into a particular area within the drone industry. Okay. I might type in here project management. We'll use that management. And then you got to figure out, is it drone or is it UAS? Is it UA? And you can come over here. My internet's kind of slow today. I'm having trouble. So this right here, they're looking for somebody with, it's a commercial project specialist at a roofing company. All right, let's go take a look at this one. pays 85 to 100, full-time salary plus commission. Evaluate roof requirements by physical inspection. So I'm assuming that they want you to have your license within 6 months of hire date. If you think about it, that you've got commercial construction experience, residential construction experience, you've got some experience in that industry, you get that industry, you understand it. Now let's just add drones on top of that. Okay. So this is a tool that we're using in the roofing industry as a project specialist at a roofing company. All right. Next one here, we got a project manager at Immediate Integrated Technologies. I have no idea what that is. Life's too short to avoid being epic. Read on Project Guru. Let's see here. I don't see the word drone in here anywhere. Not sure why this one came up. See if I can find it. Oh, it's not searching over there. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Project engineer, build Zoom. And again, like I said, sometimes you got to figure out what the terms are that they're using here. Well, we're going to go back to this one. We'll go back to this one. This one's a pretty good one. This commercial project specialist. So this is commercial project specialist in a roofing company, pays 85 to 100. It's pretty good. And so what you can do is you can reverse engineer what if this is a job that maybe you're interested in it now, but maybe you're not necessarily qualified for it. So you want to start doing the things that you need to get qualified to do it. So what you can do is you can reverse engineer this and go, I always start with the requirements, job responsibilities, and functions. So these are all the different things that they want you to know how to do, that you're working with customers. So it's going to be very customer focused, customer centric, working on contracts. So I'm assuming there's going to be a great attention to detail. So if that's something that you're good at, something that you like doing, you've got this great attention to detail. There's some photography involved, obviously, with doing roof inspections. Maybe you're good at photography. So this one right here, like maybe you don't even necessarily have roofing industry experience. It's more, you're really good with working with people. You have a very good attention to detail. You've got some experience in photography and you have your drone pilot certification already. Okay. So absolutely go and apply for a position like this. You're meeting those requirements. Okay. Says there's 982 jobs with project management and drone again, but some of these I'm not quite certain why they were coming up. So let's try UAS now. Like I said, you got to figure out what terms they're using. I know UAS is a term that is used in the medical field too. I get a job feed to send to me every day. And so I get a lot of medical positions in there as well, because their UAS is some sort of assessment they do in the medical field. I don't have experience in the medical field, so don't ask me. So this one right here, UAS test pilot. It's in Byron, California, 140 to 190 a year. Pretty good. So they build autonomous vertical takeoff and landing cargo systems to change the way the world moves goods. So I'm assuming just based on the name of this, they want somebody that has experience flying drones. So what you'll own. So again, same thing, go through here and look at it and go, okay, we want a safety pilot, proof of concept, organize and leading execution of test flights. So are you good at organizing and coordinating things? Are you good at leading people to a goal? Developing and maintaining flight manuals, SOPs. So do you have experience creating SOPs? Do you have experience creating those flight manuals? Do you have experience? You sort of the organization of all that. And it's not just all over the place, okay? Whether it's digital or printed up and put in binder somewhere, right? So if you have some really good that operational type of experience, this might be a good position for you to apply for. So this one right here, our ideal candidate. Again, maybe you're not qualified for it right now, but you want to figure out, if I want to become a UAS test pilot, what do I got to do to get the right experience in order to qualify for a position like this? Okay. So bonus points down here, but you've got crewed aircraft experience, commercial pilot's license, instrument rating, class 2 medical, familiar with Part 135, which has to do with charter. And so they're really looking here for somebody that's got that manned aircraft experience, either fixed wing or rotorcraft. Very knowledgeable about operating rules under Part 91, which is, again, manned aircraft. High proficiency in remote controlled fixed wing helicopter multi-rotor piloting. So they're really looking for somebody that is very detail oriented, very organized, but also has both the crewed and uncrewed aircraft experience. So for this particular company, if you've got that type of experience, this is a great opportunity for you to apply for. Now I'm going to let's try UAV. Okay. GIS analyst. I'm just going to pick this one. I'm randomly picking these. Yeah, right here. Working knowledge and use of GPS coordinate systems, UAV, as well as related setup, processing, and troubleshooting. If you've got some experience in GIS, this might be a great opportunity for you to look into. Again, go through the responsibilities, the qualifications. If you've got experience with Esri or other types of GIS software, Esri is the main one that's out there, and using it in an agriculture, natural resource, land management, or related field, right? You've got that experience with GPS, your UAV experience. You've got skills in research analysis, project planning, implementation. So again, it's not just the drone itself. It's all this other stuff around it that you have this experience, and the drone is the tool. The drone is the tool to do the thing. Okay. So you're looking at things like, do you have experience with customers? Do you have experience working with people? Do you have experience working on teams? Do you have experience with organization? Do you have experience with operations, SOPs, safety, things like this? So really start thinking through. So as you're going through, let's see here. How do I go back to this? So you're going through this activity right here. What do you love? What are you good at? What kind of experience do you have? Start thinking through, like I said, these are things that you might not necessarily think are complete at all related to the drone industry, but you just saw, we just went through a couple different job opportunities, and it's a lot of just, do you know how to get things done? All right. And I think that when you've got some really good work experience, it could be and something completely unrelated to aviation, completely unrelated to tech. You've got these transferable skills that you can bring into this industry and really do well in an organization or even starting your own business. And when you're talking about starting your own business versus starting a career, a lot of it is the same stuff. You've got to figure out, what is the need? What is the need that somebody has that you can fill? What is that service? What is that offering that you can fill? Whether it's you go work for a company and they pay you a paycheck, or you go and find your own clients and then they pay you individually. Okay. So it's a lot of that same kind of stuff. So like I said, it's not just about flying a drone and taking real estate photography. That's a place that a lot of people like to start. It's a need in a lot of different geographic areas within the country. But I think it's missing the bigger picture here, that this is a burgeoning industry. There's a lot of opportunities in it. So if you've got IT experience, if you've got sales experience, if you've got marketing experience, if you have supply chain experience, all that kind of stuff is really going to be valuable to a company. Okay. And then next here's your friendly reminder that if you haven't taken your pilot certification test yet, make sure to schedule it for next month. We're already at March 25th. We'll schedule it. This right here we've got all the different webinars. You guys obviously found this particular webinar, but if you go to flyelectricmonarch.com/webinars, I'm doing a webinar each month this year. I'm not doing one in February. I'm not doing one in July, and I'm not doing one in December. July is the big air show in Wisconsin, and then December is just the holidays. And then we've also got the Dronepreneur Academy. I know some of you are already in the academy. We've got a lot of different trainings available on, like I said, this over here is this drone MBA. So each one of these has anywhere between a 45-minute to 2-hour long workshop to help, you with this hands-on of what kinds of things you have to do. And like I said, I'm about 2/3 of the way through building that, but that's also part of this academy. We've got office hour sessions, guides, templates, ebooks, new content is added every month. And then on this slide here, I've got a video that's a tour of the academy, which you can take a look at. You guys will all get a copy of this presentation as well. And then you can find those upcoming events on our Facebook page at Fly Electric Monarch /events. And that's going to have all of our different events. I do need to go through there and update it though, because I don't understand why Facebook can't figure this out. But so Arizona does not observe daylight savings. Google has figured this out, but Facebook has not. So Arizona does not observe daylight savings. So when I create an event and the daylight savings happens, Facebook shifts it an hour, which shouldn't, because I'm in Arizona. We don't change times. So I have to go back through and update all the different events. on the Facebook page, but you can find those there. I do post all of those there. And then here's our contact information. If you have questions, you can certainly reach out to us. But like I said, you guys will get a copy of this presentation. And I really just urge you to just take some time, start thinking through what are these things that you love to do? What are the things that you're good at? What kinds of things do you have experience in? Go on Indeed, go on LinkedIn and look for those jobs. You don't have to apply for them. If you want to start a business, that's fine. But you can go and look and see what kinds of things are companies looking for. Maybe you can start a business doing that thing.